Now in this session we will discuss about use cases of frame layout, that is in what scenarios we should use frame layout. First let me explain the first use case. Frame layout can be used as a placeholder for only one element, that is programmer can add any element through Java code to that layout at any point of time in the future. For example, let us say I have a screen design like this where the root element is horizontal linear layout like this, where I want to place three elements. Let us say this is element 1 and this is element 2 and this is element 3. Now imagine that I have decided while designing the screen element 1 and element 3 are buttons that I have decided. This is button 1 and this is button 2. And imagine that element 2 can be sometimes it can be a checkbox, or it can be a radio button, or it can be a text view based on the user's action. But I know that I will display only one element in the second position. But while designing the screen, I have not decided which element to be displayed in the element 2 position, because that is based on the user's action. For example, if user clicks button 1, I want to display checkbox in element 2 position. When user clicks button 2, I want to display radio button at element 2 position. That means based on the user's action, the element 2 will keep on changing. So in such kind of cases, we can use a frame layout, because frame layout can be used as a placeholder for one element where programmer can add any element to that layout through Java code. Now you may wonder, in place of element 2, can we use linear layout? Remember, linear layout can be used to hold multiple elements, either vertically or horizontally. But my requirement is, at this position, I need only one element in the future. If I take linear layout, it won't fit my requirement, because when user clicks on button 1, if I add checkbox to second element, and if user clicks button 2, if I add radio button also to element 2, and if I take element 2 as linear layout, it will show both elements. But my requirement is, I want to display only one element. And obviously even relative layout also will not fit for my requirement, because as you know already, using relative layout also you can hold multiple elements. So relative layout also displays multiple views. So the only layout which can be used as the placeholder for only one element is a frame layout. So our overall screen design XML will have the root element as a horizontal linear layout. In that first element is button 1. Let us say these three elements are occupying the screen width's weight proportion as 1:1:1. Let us say first element proportion is width proportion 1, and second element also 1, and the third element also 1. So in that case, the root element will be horizontal linear layout, where first element is button with width 0 dp, weight 1, and height wrap content. Similarly, element 2, since we need an element as a placeholder, so element 2 will be a frame layout with width 0 dp and weight 1 and height wrap content, or probably match parent. Both are same only at this point of time, don't worry. Whether you use wrap content or match parent to the height of second element, it doesn't matter much. So don't worry too much about the height. And last element is one more button with width 0 dp and weight 1 and height wrap content. So I hope you understood what is the first use case of frame layout. While designing the screen, you have not yet decided which element to place in particular position, but you need some placeholder to display some element in the future. So in such kind of cases, if you need a placeholder to display only one element in the future, in that case go for frame layout. Now you may start wondering how to add elements to a frame layout dynamically to a frame layout directly through Java code. It's very simple. Now I will show you the code for adding element to frame layout dynamically. That is through Java code. Now I have created a new project with name frame layout uses. Now I will go to activity XML. For understanding first use case, I will take root element as horizontal linear layout with orientation horizontal. Now let me remove this text view. I need 3 elements. First one is button width 0 dp, weight 1, height let us say match parent or probably wrap content, doesn't matter. Now I will take text as button 1 and ID also as button 1. Second element, as a placeholder I will take a frame layout width 0 dp as I told you already, and height match parent and weight 1. Since we want to add either checkbox or radio button based on the user's action at runtime through Java code, so we have to give some ID for this frame layout so that programmer can refer this frame layout from Java code. Remember, in order to refer any view from Java code, you need unique identification name, that is r.id. something called as button 1. That is for button. Similarly for frame layout also, since we want to add some element through Java code, we need to give some ID. So let me give some ID as, you can give anything. I will give it as frame layout 1. So that is second element. I hope you understood why I have given ID here. Next element is again button with width 0 dp, weight 1 and height match parent and text button 2, and let me give ID as button 2. Now let us see the preview. Okay, it is not looking the exact way what we have discussed on the board. So what I will do, for the root element, height I have given as match parent, that's why it is occupying entire screen height. So rather than this, I will give wrap content as height. Okay, I have given for root element height as wrap content, so the height will become only the height of the content height. So this is element 1 button 1, element 2 frame layout, element 3 button. Now you can observe this is a placeholder for either checkbox or radio button. When user clicks button 1, display checkbox. When user clicks button 2, display radio button. Now I will write the Java code for that. First let me declare all visible components. So we have 2 buttons. So I will declare 2 button variables, button 1 comma button 2. We have a frame layout also. So frame layout, I will declare variable as frame layout, and within onCreate method, after set content view method, I will initialize all the 3 variables. I hope you already know how to initialize visible components, that is by using find view by id method, r.id.button1, alt enter, cast. I will copy paste this, but as a entry level programmer, you should not use copy paste. You should practice typing the code. But since I am expert, I can do this. Similarly, I will initialize frame layout also. Find view by id. Whether it is button or text view or any type of view, you can use find view by id method to initialize visible components. r.id. frame layout 1, alt enter, cast it. So with this frame layout is initialized. Now we will write button click listeners for button 1 and button 2. This is button 1 click listener. Similarly, I will copy paste for button 2 click listener. In place of button 1, I will put button 2. Now the requirement is, when user clicks on button 1, display checkbox in the frame layout. Now I will show you one interesting point about Android. You can create a view in 2 different ways. One is, if you want a checkbox directly while designing the screen itself, you can drag and drop a checkbox. That is one approach. When you are creating any view through XML code, that is considered as static approach. Observe button 1 and button 2 I have given while designing the screen itself. So this is considered as static approach for creating buttons. Now, while designing the screen, we don't have checkbox and radio button. Still, through Java code also you can create views. Let me show you that. If you create any view through Java code, it is considered as dynamic approach. Now dynamically I will create a checkbox which looks like this. Checkbox some variable equal to. Generally, while initializing variables, we use find view by id method. But while creating a new view through Java code, we should use a new operator. Just like how you create objects in Java, similarly, now I am creating a checkbox object to add to frame layout. When user clicks on button 1, it looks like this, new checkbox. This expects one parameter, that is, do you remember what is the first parameter of toast message? This. So we should supply this. But we know that in the on-click listener, this operator won't work. So we should use your class name dot this. Like this. So this line says that please create a checkbox for this activity. And this checkbox we will add to frame layout. What is your frame layout variable? Frame layout, and use a method dot add. Can you see here add view? Just select that method. For this frame layout, which view you want to add? When user clicks on button 1, we want to add checkbox. So I will take that checkbox and I will apply here. Before that, you can add text also for checkbox. Checkbox dot set text. If you remember, I told you in the initial sessions that you can use set text method and get text method for any type of view. So I will name it as CB for checkbox. So with this, button 1 logic is over. Similarly, when user clicks on button 2, I want to display a radio button. I will dynamically create a radio button. Just like how you have created checkbox, use new operator, new radio button. This is a dynamic way of creating views. If you drag and drop in the XML, that is static way of creating views. As of now, don't worry which way is better. That argument will keep it for next sessions. Again, I will use main activity dot this. For radio button, set some text. For example, I will set text as radio button mail. Something, you can keep it anything. This radio button also I will add to frame layout dot add view, that is radio button. So simple. Now when user clicks on button 1, it will add checkbox. So in the frame layout it will display checkbox. If user clicks button 2, in place of checkbox, you are adding radio button to frame layout. But previously, since we have added checkbox, and after that when user clicks on button 2 and when we add radio button, tell me which one will be displayed? Always the recently added element will be displayed on the frame layout. That means at any point of time, frame layout can show only one element, that is the top element. Now with this, let us run the application to cross check whether our solution is working correctly or not. Here in this session, we have understood two new concepts. You can create any view through Java code also using a new operator, and you can add any view to any layout. Just like you are adding currently to frame layout, you can also add a view to linear layout or relative layout also by using the method add view method. This method is applicable for all types of layouts. Now I will run the application. Select Genymotion. Okay, now it has launched application. Now I will click on button 1. You can observe checkbox is visible now. Now I will click on button 2. You can observe radio button is available now. But if you observe closely, the background checkbox is still visible there, because as you know already, frame layout follows stack based architecture. That means below element is still there, it is not yet removed, but currently user is looking at the top element. Whenever user touches in this area, that touch event will go to radio button. Observe, once you enable a radio button, you cannot disable the radio button by clicking one more time, which is possible with checkbox. Let us see. Now observe, I will click on button 1 on top of radio button. Now it has added checkbox. Let me show you. Observe, it is checked and it is unchecked. Now I will select button 2. Now it has displayed radio button on top of checkbox. You can see checkbox is not visible now. Now tell me total how many number of elements are added to the stack of this frame layout. First on button 1 checkbox, then on button 2 radio button, then on button 1 one more checkbox, on button 2 one more radio button, and so on. So currently total we have 4 elements, which looks like the jumbled up design. So what you can do, before adding any view, you can ask a frame layout to remove all existing views so that it looks more cleaner. Let me use frame layout dot remove all views. You can use this method on any type of view. You can use this method on any layout, be it linear layout or relative layout. So before adding any view, first I will call remove all views. First it will check if there are any views. First it will remove the views. Then it is adding new element. Now with this, let us run the application. It will reflect the output immediately on the Genymotion. Now I will click button 1 checkbox. The main difference between checkbox and radio button is checkbox you can enable and disable. Now I will click button 2, checkbox is removed. Now it looks more clear. Once you click second time onwards, you cannot disable this. That is a basic property of radio button. Now I will click button 1 checkbox, button 2 radio. So I hope you understood what's the main advantage of frame layout. It will act as a placeholder for only one element. That is the first use case. Now let me show you the second use case. We know that a frame layout will internally follows stack based architecture, where the views will sit on top of each other. Though you may think it doesn't make any sense to place one view on top of each other, but there are some really important use cases. Let me show you second use case. That is, have you ever observed opening your gallery application where you can see lot of images? Have you ever tried selecting any image or selecting all images? If you observe carefully, a checkbox will come on top of the image. How is it possible? Checkbox is sitting on top of image view. That is done by using a frame layout. That can be some really useful scenario where I want to display a checkbox on top of image view. That can be done with only frame layout. Let me show you that second use case. That is how to display a checkbox on the image view. Or even if you open Google Maps application, have you ever observed on top of Google Maps you can observe a search box and a zoom button. That means both search box and zoom button both are sitting on top of Google Maps view. Even in that case also they have used frame layout. But anyway, now let me show you image view with a checkbox. I will go to layout folder, right click, new. I will create a new XML file. I will name it as frame layout example 2. What do you want the root element as? The root element I want it as frame layout. So I will take frame layout. Remember, it is a class. Don't give F as small letter and don't leave space in between. This will be taken as the root tag for your XML file. Click finish. Now first I will take one image view in this frame layout. Where is image view? Here under widgets category, image view, drag and drop here. So currently image view is added to frame layout. Now go to text perspective. probably it would have added some unwanted properties, gravity properties. Remove those unwanted gravity properties. So currently we have only image view. Now since you have not applied any image onto image view, it is not displaying anything. So what I will do, I will take one real image from my system. I hope you remember how to add images to image view. If you don't remember, let me revise one more time. Or let us say I will take this image, Ctrl C, and I will paste into drawable folder. Since remember, any file name in the resource folder should not be starting with capital letters. This is starting with capital letters. So let me make it as small letter. Click OK. It supports JPG files also. Now I have got one image in the drawable folder. Now I will apply this tulips image onto image view. I will go to text perspective. Which property I have to use? SRC property, not background property. @drawable tulips. With this, it will display the image here. Now if you observe, the image is occupying the entire frame layout width and height. Your image is starting here and your image is ending here. That is the width. And in terms of height, the image is starting here and image is ending here. Now I need a checkbox at the top right hand side corner on top of this image view. So what I will do, I will add a checkbox and you can drag and drop here. Automatically that gravity property will be enabled for you. If you open this checkbox property in the text perspective, you can observe when you drag and drop, automatically Android is adding layout gravity property with the values right and top. Now if you don't want this text, you can remove the text by deleting this content and go and observe the design. Now it looks exact. Now our requirement is achieved. Below we have image view and on top of image view we have a checkbox. So your frame layout will be really useful in these type of scenarios. I hope you understood how to place a checkbox on top of image view. Remember an important point. In the frame layout, whatever the element you are adding first, that will go to bottom, and whatever the element you are adding last or recent, that will go on the top. But by using a gravity property, you can adjust so that user can see both elements. So I hope you understood two use cases of frame layouts.